Hello, this is First Fire Non-Assault Move. Welcome back to the 8th video in the War in the East series. I have to start right out and let you know that I did an entire video with no audio. Unbeknownst to me, something happened in the recording software settings where it no longer had my mic as an audio input. So the video was fine, but it just didn't have any audio. So I went back in there and figured out what went wrong, changed the setting, did some function checks, and now it should be good to go. So I apologize, there's an entire turn worth of content that won't be available to you, but we can do a quick recap and show you some of the things that happened. Not much to report on the Finnish front, continuing to move south and east to make contact with the Soviets, which we did, and the Soviets did an attack here, which pushed back, caused a retreat with one of our regiments. So nothing significant, but they seem to be in stronger force than I expected. Farther north, I thought they would be more arrayed more closer to Leningrad. So that's what happened with the Finns. With Army Group North, we made our way as far as we could with our infantry to start establishing that defensive line with the Gulf of Finland on our northernmost flank. Taken a while for the infantry to catch up, and we secured Tallinn, and I didn't do anything with the 56th Panzer Corps, just let them sit there and get some fuel. Nothing for them to really do at this time. Down in the southern part of Army Group North's area of operations, we made an attack and pushed back some Soviets, so now we're adjacent to Pskov, and we're along this river, minor river, which is the Velikaya, to start making a defense. And that's similar in nature to what's happening at the boundary of Army Group North and Army Group Center, just establishing a defensive line and have some security filling in the gap here. And the Soviets said, hey, we're not having anything with that, and they did make an attack. Where was it? Right here, and pushed back one of our security divisions. Just a small attack, and caused us to retreat. So moving on, this right here, what we're looking at is the big news. We conducted the offensive and along the land bridge between the Dnieper and the Daugava rivers, and had some really good success. The infantry did incredible work prying open the front and allowed our panzer divisions to move in and almost take Smolensk. It looked open, but when we moved adjacent, there were 3 full, fresh Soviet rifle divisions, but that was before the Soviets executed their turn. We're looking at what happened after the Soviets executed their turn. So there's some different results. So the situation's a little bit different from how our turn ended, because this was defended not with just border regiments. So that's encouraging. We can make short work of them this turn. What we did is we moved as much as our infantry that did not make the attacks to open up this penetration into the funnel here to increase the width and depth of the penetration. And we did that by having economy of force, holding the line with minimal infantry divisions along the Dnieper. We didn't attempt to make any more crossings along the southern part of the Dnieper here, and we did some localized attacks and pushed back the Soviets, but they quickly came back and moved in to move adjacent to us. What's really great to see is 50%, 60%, and 50%. It's pretty sad that I'm content and happy to see half of our fuel allocation. And that's because our railroad engineers are doing a much, much better job in Army Group North and Army Group Center than Army Group South. We already have a access rail up to Minsk, and that's not far from the front and where our Corps headquarters are, so they are getting much better supply than Army Group South. So even across the Dnieper and adjacent to Soviets, we are at 50% fuel. That is great. That is great news. So the objectives then for this next turn, and again, I apologize because things were shaping up and we had some good discussion in the video prior to the video that didn't have any audio, following through with those plans, and that was, establishing the defensive line here and making the offensive along the land bridge and threatening Smolensk. It went better than I thought it would, and it's going to be even better as supply continues to improve and we get the railheads closer to the front in Army Group Center. You didn't miss much with the video with no audio that you didn't see, so a whole turn that you didn't see, you didn't miss that much. We cleared out the last of the Soviets, to include the 4 divisions here in Rovno, which freed up 2 strong infantry corps that are making their way east. Right here, the 24th Corps, and where are you? 24th Corps and 29th Corps. And we committed the 25th Corps, which has 4 strong divisions, towards the bridgehead at Cherkasy. I was going to keep them around Kiev and just screen minimally with economy of force here and make attacks north to pressure them. But the Soviets, they're getting frisky here. They are getting a little bold and moved west and attacked here and pushed back. It was the 168th that retreated, and that should be the 168th right there. So yeah, they conducted a few attacks, nothing major, but they're getting more aggressive and starting to make more concerted effort to contest our positions. And we're going to expect that they will attack here if we don't attack them first this turn. So Kiev's a long way from getting taken right now. And they continue to fight, put up a fight at the bridgehead. They made some more attacks here, pushed back the 2nd Hungarian Motorized Brigade, which I wanted to point out, which I was pointing out during the video that has no audio, that yeah, this Mobile Hungarian Corps did fantastic job reaching the front and even contributing to the bridgehead here. So we have to do something about it and flex our combat power and get these Soviets pushed back and stop attacking us. And I did have the 39th Panzer Corps in reserve, and I was going to commit them last turn either south or into the bridgehead, and I decided to leave them there and gain fuel, because the video before, the turn before the last one that you did not see, we pointed out how horrible the fuel situation is. So all of these Panzer Corps here, the entire might of our tank force of Army Group South did nothing last turn. It's still early in the war. We have another week in July, and last turn it was 24 July, and the whole Panzer Corps just did nothing because they could do nothing. And they still can't. 7% fuel. I think these divisions down here are like 5 or 1%. So only a trickle is coming in. It's going to be a while before we have a adequate supply situation for our tanks to be able to do anything except sit with their engines turned off. A little bit of help is on the way. We have the Axis miners really starting to get close to the front, and we don't see it now. I haven't done recon yet this turn, but we were last turn adjacent to a bunch of Soviet formations that were adjacent to all of these Axis miners, and they continue to escape to the east. I believe a lot of them are getting on the rails and heading down into the Crimea or back up here. So the plan was originally two turns ago, when we were talking a lot of future ops and how we were going to position ourselves, we were hoping to get to the Crimea and cut off a bunch of Soviets, and we were kind of I was kind of, like, not overly excited about encircling a smaller portion of the Soviets here, but now we're not even going to encircle any of them because we have no fuel. And can we contribute to not getting this rail clear 3 turns ago? Maybe. Yeah, we should have probably been more aggressive and cleared these rails, because this is the only railroad engineer we have in the south. I think we have 3 total, maybe 4 total in the entire war effort between Army Group North, Center, and South. There's one here, one here, one that made it really close to the almost to the front here. He's got to be in here somewhere, but I think we only have 4. Where did he get to? He was way up here. Okay, there we go. I think we only have 3 that we can actually control. There's a whole bunch of autopilot ones, but there's only 3 that we control. And the railroad situation is looking far better in Army Group North. We have 1 railhead almost to the front, and another one at Minsk, and this railroad engineer will give us another 4. So Army Group Center has a much better supply situation than Army Group South, as does Army Group North. So that's really how it's all ended up after the last turn. Nothing significant except our inability to really conduct any offensive operations in Army Group South, as our panzers are dying for fuel. The good news is infantry has caught up, and will start doing attacks of their own, and the Axis miners are catching up. The outlook for the next couple of weeks is not encouraging for Army Group South. Until the fuel situation gets better, I don't see us taking Denapopret. I used to be able to say this. Dnepropetrovsk, this city, and Stalino and Rostov. I don't see us taking these cities anytime soon. But I want to have some optimism that it is still July. We have all of August, all of September, all of October. About 3 months before winter starts to encroach on our plans and upset our plans. So maybe we can recover from this lack of fuel and lack of momentum in Army Group South. That's the hope. We'll continue to try and widen here, this bridgehead, and figure out what we're going to do with Kiev. But right now we're on idle. The motor's is idling, and really like to start stepping on the throttle and making some gains in Army Group South. Army Group Center, it has its full complement of Panzer Corps, because I did not take a Panzer Corps away from them. There was a Panzer Corps that was positioned back here. I forget which one it was, and I could have committed it to Army Group Center, but I sent it south. So Army Group Center is doing a pretty good job with it, pretty much its full complement historically of what it had. And at 31 July, we're at the gates of Smolensk, and we can fit Moscow in at this zoom level. There it is. In July, we are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 240 miles west of Moscow before July is even over. So that's not bad. I'm sure there will be dozens of Soviet divisions railed in to block the approach to Moscow, but in doing that, they won't be blocking our Army Group South. All right, that's how it ended. The last turn that you did not see. Objectives? Well, solidify the defensive line. We have the 32nd Infantry Corps here to stiffen Army Group North's defense. I was going to commit it because it's got 4 divisions. I was going to commit the Corps to Army Group Center's attack over the land bridge here. But prudence dictates that have it as a reserve and maybe make some localized attacks in Army Group North's area of operations. Still got to figure out what we're going to do with 56 Panzer Corps and its 2 divisions. More than likely, I will bring it down in a centralized location for Army Group North, and as a quick reaction force to plug any holes if the Soviets start to get aggressive on this front. But I don't expect that to happen too soon, but we're going to keep them with Army Group North. Army Group Center, objective, widen and deepen this penetration, take Smolensk, and start to roll up the Dnieper defenses south of us. So that will free up this all these infantry divisions here and press on the attack. What happened a lot was there was a lot of Soviet movement, including their Air Force. So there was a whole bunch of interdictions of their movements. Interdicted. Not many losses, but it's interesting that there's a lot of Soviet movement heading east. I was hoping this penetration would give them pause and they'd pull back, but if they don't, we could start thinking of breaking out here and getting some small encirclement and maybe encircle up to 10 divisions. So yeah, that would be the objective for Army Group Center. Army Group South, their objective is to not only defend the bridgehead, but widen it and make it deeper and see what we can do to push back with the forces that are coming out of Kiev and usher our Axis miners as quickly as possible to the front. That'll take some pressure off our Panzer Corps and get these divisions away from them. So Army Group South doesn't have much to do this turn. Alright, I guess I will leave it at that, and I will do my moves, and I will get back to you. Alright, I'm back. Just to give a little update where we're at before I continue with some more moves, and we're going to capture some attacks on camera. Move the Finns down, all adjacent now to Soviet forces. We did some attacks and pushed some back, which was encouraging. They have quite a mighty force concentrated around Leningrad, so I don't expect the Finns to get much closer to Leningrad than where they are now. And judging by the pressure we're putting on the Soviets in Army Group North's area of operations, they may actually be able to retask forces they might have had to defend with more and put them up against the Finns. So sorry, Finns. And this is an interesting area. We totally cleared out all the Soviets in this very remote, I imagine, incredibly beautiful, wild part of Finland. It's on a bucket list. I would love to visit Finland one of these days. And we're going to march through all this very wild country and see when we encounter Soviets and establish a frontier. So I did recon, and wait till you get a load of this. Oh boy. Yeah. Look at that. It's a sea of brown. Yeah. I kind of wish I didn't do recon, because I would have maybe felt a little better about myself. But we're going to attack. We will not be discouraged. We will defeat these Soviets, no matter how many. At least that's what our order of the day is going to say. All right. So I wanted to show you that real quick. And we only did a couple of attacks along here. Yeah, the Polizei SS division pushed back a couple of the Soviets here up against Vitebsk. And I'm flirting with the idea of committing more to take Vitebsk this turn. I think that's important. And that will get them most of the Soviets on the what would be the north bank of the Daugava. And they are just making sure that they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink in front of us so that we don't take Moscow. Yeah. All right, so I still got some moves to do off camera, some admin stuff, but I wanted to show you this. And making some progress through the Pripyat. We're getting there. We got this batch right here of swamp to come under our control. And this autopilot railroad engineer is taking its sweet time, but that will be a very vital artery once we get past the Pripyat and over the Dnieper and start fighting in this area here of the front. All right, so we did the recon. Shows that Kiev is, yeah, they are funneling troops into Kiev, so it's starting to get tempting to maybe think of an encirclement, but that may require we pull back 1 or 2 Panzer Corps to accomplish that, but we're going to see how it shapes up before we do that. We do have our 2 Corps that are released now, racing to the front because we're a little thin defending here, but I'm not worried about it. That will quickly stabilize, and in fact, we'll start pushing back the Soviets towards Kiev. I'm not sure if I want to push them too far. Let them gather here and maybe come up with our own type of encirclement around Kiev. That is a thought. And we haven't moved any of our tanks. I mean, there's really no point in it. I mean, we have we go 10 miles and we have 5 movement points left. I mean, what? There's absolutely no reason to move them. I may even pull back further here so that we're not taken advantage of, and I think I'm definitely going to do that. It's all right though, because that will just buy us a little bit of time and not do anything stupid and take over losses that we really don't need to take, because this patch of ground doesn't matter. I mean, we'll get it back shortly, but it's important not to take losses unnecessarily, because we have all of these forces here on their way, and I have yet to move a bunch of them, which I'll do off camera. A lot of just moving due east, and that's about it. I think I did attacks here, and these son of a guns are still holding out. No, I didn't do a dedicate. Okay, I'll finish those guys off, or try to. Knock on wood here. And that's about it, and I will be back. Okay, back. Let's catch on camera a deliberate attack to take Vitebsk. Here goes, and this is going to be the 28th Infantry Corps. Deliberate. Yeah. Gotta do it. That's good defense. I mean, don't have anybody left. I mean, this is just... Well, I was hoping for better results. Obviously. Oh boy. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring up the core. They are holding in place. Alright. And freeze up 4th Panzer to do something. 122nd will relieve them in place. Alright. Next moves, what we want to catch in camera. Well, hopefully we'll have a little better luck with Smolensk. We will have 57th attack Smolensk. Yeah. being defended by only regiments, but it's Fort 2 at 52%, so it's heavily fortified city right now. All right. All right, we're not going to try anymore. We'll hopefully displace the Soviets around Smolensk so that we're not attacking head-on into a city, but wanted to test the strength. Could have avoided that, but we might have taken it. There was a chance. All right, the 8th Corps has already attacked, and they pushed back the Soviets a little bit here to give freedom of maneuver to 57th Panzer Corps, who just attacked. They just attacked, though 24th is freed up. So we're going to take 23rd Panzer Division. They'll be freed up. All right, I want to continue to attack with infantry. And we are going to send them south. That's a better result. What's this? Parent division, do we want to? Yeah. Excellent. Good job, good job. That was 7th Corps, right? Yep. So 7th Corps is right here. Let's bring you over so that Seventh Corps. Yeah. Start protecting the flanks. We're gonna threaten the defenses along the Dnieper. If they want to remain in place, that's fine. That is fine. 7th Corps. Excellent. Good job, infantry. Poor bloody infantry. Do I waste any effort on... Yeah, it's just a pain in the butt right now. 5th Corps or... Okay, so... Where's 5th Corps? 5th Corps, who do you have with you? Just 2 divisions. Okay, we'll use 5th to try and remove... It's a deliberate attack. Alright, retreated across the river. That's good. Alright, get them out of the way. And if we have any movement with 5th, make sure they don't cross back. Alright, that is good. Where's the other 5th Corps? Okay. Yeah, we have to get this threat of an encirclement going. Do you have any oomph left? Let's try it. Routed. Excellent. All right. Shaping up a little better. A little better. And we're starting to shake out a little bit and not be so bunched. That leaves 256, 10th Corps, or 20th Corps. Who do you have with you? 2 divisions, all right. I think we have the perimeter. We're going to use the cavalry to relieve in place the 18th. All right. 20th Corps. Well, that's not 20th. Where were you, 20th? All right. Where are you? There's 20th. And there's 20th. Okay. Into the breach. There's a lot of Soviets massing here, so a little extra defense here cannot hurt. I wonder. Do I want to attack them there? I don't think so, because it's just going to push them here if we get a favorable result. Let's bring the Corps up. So that's 12th Corps. Alright, we still have 12th Corps. It's freedom of maneuver now. Alright. Doing this. This 12th. Nice. All right, so panzers. Panzers. I think we go straight. Okay. We need to kick out this cavalry and get him back over the river. Sixteen, okay. Hey, together we can do a hasty. All right. Good. These 10 more movement points for... You know what? That's a good spot for you. All right. Nice. Nice. 15% fuel. Do it. Not bad. Alright, who's your parent? 49%. Wow, 3 routes. Fantastic. Ooh, look at these juicy headquarters. Tank division. Tank division. I think it's just a tank division and aircraft. Do it. Yeah. Little zealous, but that's all right. We had the initiative, we had momentum. That is okay. Okay, had to step away for a second, and we're back. So looking at what we're done so far, we have still 4 panzer divisions to work with. I just moved the 4th Panzer down here. And we have 3rd Panzer, 17th Panzer, 12th Panzer. And actually, we have 5 to work with, right? Was that 5? And 19th Panzer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 Panzer divisions still to work with. As this penetration is developing and potential encirclement, I want to start looking at our flank, our northernmost flank, because we definitely have combat power here to resist anything that the Soviets will throw at us coming from east to west over, what is that river? Huh, I trace it all, the Soza River? If you traced it all the way up here. Yeah, so we have combat power defending along the river here to block any attempts to cut off our penetration here, and definitely have combat power blocking it going, trying to break out. More than likely they're going to bust down as fast as they can south to get away. I think at this point the Soviets are going to be in fear of getting encircled. What concerns me is this mass of Soviet forces to the north of us. So maybe I will keep 2 panzer divisions back to just cover the flank, cover our flank here, and the next turn they'll be in position to maybe threaten going to the north of Smolensk and start thinking about an encirclement of Smolensk. So we'll do that. But I just moved the 4th Panzer. We have potential to do a hasty, and I think we're going to do it here and further remove that routed unit under there and just hit a cavalry. There is that tank division here with this headquarters, and there's another tank division in this stack that the 29th Motorized attacked. 18% fuel. Just a tank division, though. Hasty. We're going to try and move this tank division out of the way. Do we have to attack? I'll come back to that. So 19th is in a spot where it can maybe, you know what, that's 56 Panzer, and that's, so we won't get divisional integrity there. They could attack again. Okay, let's add, because that's 56. Doggone it. Where was the other one? 56. Oh, 57th. 57th. All right. Let's stop and think. Where do we want to continue the offensive here? Do we want to push further south? Try to attack over? No, I like the fact that we have this minor river defending our flank. I think further south. That means if I send 2 more Panzer Divisions south into this attack, I definitely want to have a little peace of mind that our flank's going to be covered a little better than what it's looking like now. Because we can still pull out the 3rd Panzer from there. Alright, let's see what happens with this. Excellent. Alright. I'm just going to hold off a second. I think I got some audio issues. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just had to switch up a little setting. Alright, so that was great. Able to clear that hex. Do we feel daring? Well, let's bring down 19th. There may be a little penalty involved because there's 2 divisions from 2 separate corps. I don't think it penalizes you, but when you attack with 2 divisions of the same corps, I think you get a benefit. Let's try, because if we can push them back, then we, you know what? Let's see how this goes first. Because we want to, potentially, we could already encircle these guys. But we don't have enough forces to do that. Just be a threat here. Nice. Huh. Yeah, if we attacked, then we wouldn't be able to have the movement to get across to secure what we... All right. Great. Great stuff. Wow. That was great. Great job there, 14th Motorized. And you still got some juice left. Hoo, 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 hoo. Here. Held. Nice. Very good. All right. Routed and retreated. This is looking all right. That was unexpected. Who could we pull off the line? Okay. Oh, wow, okay. Could we relieve? Alright. I think I like that idea. And then we could push him in here. Okay. We are going to do some shuffling. Relieve in place. You come across. Fantastic. All right, so that still puts us in a decent... Should I be greedy? No. What's the likelihood if I removed him? I don't care if they come here, west. If they push west, big deal. I have an entire corps marching up. They're not threatening anything. It's if they cross here, again, kind of so what? What's the benefit of getting you up here? You are 1% fuel. Great job, though. Now, can I get you up here? No, that's for future operations. Right. Let me think about this. Okay. Was considering how we're going to phase these last few attacks. I was worried about this northern shoulder of the penetration, or what's developing into a pincer attack, an encirclement. We're about 20 miles, 30 miles right now from the southernmost pincer and the northernmost pincer. Just a little encirclement developing here. So I was happy to see that I had overlooked an infantry division that hadn't even moved. So the shoulder is looking pretty good, and I'm going to keep 17th Panzer up here as well. So I feel a little bit better about what our perimeter security is looking like. So that leaves us only a few options left. I could move this division here and then move this one up, or just move this one here and move this one up and in. Which I think I'm going to do. We'll do that now. And you're going to move up here. So we have a zone of control covered, so they're going to have to cross the river, which takes an incredible amount of effort to begin with, and then an attack. So I think this is pretty good. And I was worried about moving 7th Panzer up against all these stacks here, but now that we have another infantry division to support us in the defense, we're going to do that next. And we're going to attack here. So there's just one tank division. The other two formations on there were routed units. So that was excellent. Dare I try this? It looks like there's a couple of roughed up Soviets there and only one good order one, so we're gonna do it. That is awesome. Oh dear. Do I get greedy? Let's see how this plays out first. We're gonna do this hasty with two panzer divisions from 2 separate corps and see how that works. Well, look at that. It worked mightily. That was excellent. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We could probably complete the encirclement this turn. Again, there's a lot that could still move in on us, and I don't want to get in an awkward position, but momentum's on our side right now. Let's get a fresh division in. Let's get the 12th in. See what they can do. Here, to protect the flank even more, or here to potentially get the encirclement. I'm gonna go here. What are we looking at? Tank division. Oh, we could go a deliberate attack. I'm doing it. Retreated. Wonderful. Ooh. If I go here, then they could cross and attack. I don't like him hanging out, but I just don't have the movement for it, the juice to make any attacks. Well, I can't really complain. It looks pretty good right now. And we can still commit one more. And look at that. They're cut off. I just want to protect 12th Panzer. I don't think they can mount any kind of... I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they could come in and they would retreat here or here or here. They could come in to... Do we pull them back? No, we can't even pull them back. We have to reinforce them a little bit better than what it's looking like now. Can you move out? No. Negligible there. Alright, we're gonna have to take the 3rd. Just to block this, a potential attack through here. Yeah. And that's good. I think that's all we're gonna do. With this looking alright, I may bring him down just to give it a little more peace of mind. There's sizable formations here. They could come up and threaten and actually get us to retreat a little bit. I don't know, though. I don't think that will happen. Let's get this division down here for continuation of the offensive. Or here. That will stop them from moving into here to get. Then it would just be 1, 2, 3 hexes to attack against. We'll go here. Cover this flank a little bit better. He could have gone there too, actually. We might do that. Alright, is everybody in command and control? That's the issue. We've been doing a lot of maneuvering. Well, this, I don't know, say unexpected. Can you move here? And we got there. I don't think he'll cross over. That would just be a butthead, but we can, we're gonna leave them in place. So let's look at what we have. I think the northern shoulder is pretty thin right now, and there's a lot of Soviets, so that could cause concern. I think we're strong enough, definitely, to repel anything along this side of the penetration. And moving, if the Soviets move south to north, again, I think they're not going to be able to mount anything considerable. Here is where we're a little concerned. They got a lot of formations here, but there's route, and a couple tank divisions, 3 actually. Oh, I wish I could take them on right now when they're in such a bad state, but already done a whole bunch. So that's how we're looking here. I'm going to go south and I'm just going to do the rest of the moves and go south and see if there's anything left to show on camera, and I'll be back. Alright, so we are back to the point where we're ready to click the end turn button, which always scares me. Can't do anything more with the Finns. This is the situation report as it stands after our moves. Talked about that already. They'll continue to attack south as they're able. And these divisions here are just going to clear out the rest of the uncontested, or the contested hexes that the Soviets had last occupied, just to get it into German control, and then they'll make their way up here. I think we're not facing any threats right now, as our line has been established. We talked about leaving this open, but looking at it, it scares the heck out of me. They're not going to be able to attack over, and I only have 1 division there, so I may bring these guys down here just for sanity's sake. We're making little inroads with local attacks along this front, and we're pushing back some Soviets, so every little threat that we can cause the Soviets to disrupt their decision-making process is a good thing. And this is very thin as well. You know, we have to compromise in some sections, and where economy of force is probably could get away with it, but it's looking a little thin here. I may have to do something about this. If the Soviets get aggressive, they can really make a threat here. So that's something to think about. If they do that, it will cause us to pull out the 32nd Corps and go on the defensive. Don't want that to happen, though. This is looking pretty darn good, I think. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Soviets do on their turn, how they react to this. I don't think we're hanging out to dry anywhere to get taken advantage of. I mean, they could attack across the river against these single panzer divisions. But I think we've done enough damage to them that a strong counterattack is unlikely. Moving down. Infantry has caught up for the most part. We are now arrayed against the front in Army Group South. We reinforced the bridgehead. There's no way that the Soviets are going to kick us out now. And we pushed them back as well with some counterattacks across the front of our bridgehead. We'll see how this unfolds in the next turn or two. How we will now that our hopes to get an encirclement by cutting off to the Crimea is out the window. Now it's a matter of catching up to the Soviets with our Axis miners. So, a lot to think about for the next turn. And I've gone through again and again to make sure I'm not missing anything. Everybody I checked is in supply and control, command and control. And I've put a lot of these panzer divisions into refit mode. So that's it. I think we're going to watch a turn together. And let's see what they do. Oh boy, did I miss anything? No, I don't think so. I did all my little railroad engineers. And I think next turn we're going to still have to shuttle more of our aircraft closer to the front. Okay, here goes. Now we wait. Supply. Maybe they're already supplying that pocket we just formed. I'm a little nervous. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah, doing a whole bunch of recon on us. That's a rail move, most likely. A rail movement. Getting their aircraft. I don't think they're... Are they moving east or west? Hard to tell. See if they start to attack along the front. Oh! Interdicted. Okay. I thought they were massing and started already counterattack. Oh, they are. Look at, they moved up. So expect attack on that Panzer Division there. Kind of center to the screen. That's probably where they'll be able to accomplish most of their damage. But 3 of the formations will be attacking over the river, that minor river. I'm predicting that. Oh, look at that! They snuck through Vitebsk. Alright, attack. Already beating up on our Axis miners. They think they have something going in Kiev. They've been attacking there. Oh, yeah, they're on the railroad. Maybe they're more than likely coming to the front. I was hoping they would be leaving, but... Yeah, this is probably aircraft getting railed to the front. Yeah, look at that. Look at that cavalry that snuck in. They're going to do an attack at least on the northern shoulder of the encirclement. Alright already. Stop bringing in more aircraft. Jeez. Oh, they lost 30 men. Good lord. All the factories out by the Urals and east of Moscow have been very busy producing aircraft, tanks, artillery. Yeah. I didn't expect this much movement of their Air Force. Are they pulling out? Repositioning? Or are they just adding? It looks like it just moved an extra hex and it continued to get interdicted. Yeah, that one's moving, because we just saw that it was, yeah, that one's moving towards the front. We're pretty deep in Soviet airspace to make these interdictions. Oh boy. Uh-huh. Probably going to be a little back and forth. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Held. All right. Yeah. It's a good thing I thought about defending that shoulder. There we go. Push back, though. They have really amassed a lot of forces around Kiev. It's really making me think. Wow. Massive attack. Very good result for them. That's the most by far the Soviets are attacking. They're kind of sealing themselves if they want to continue attack by Odessa, because we should be able to cut the rail before they can get out of there. That was pretty impressive. They certainly have amassed. I think this is, you know, unless they continue to move more formations east, we can see they have some in the back there still. But I think that's what we're looking at for Kiev. That's a pretty strong front. Well, they bit back. Nothing major, but they're showing what they can be capable of doing to our stretched out lines. It's concerning, but I don't think they had a solution for what we did in Army Group Center, other than threatening the flanks, which may force us to pull out. some of our troops. What did they do to us for losses? 17,000? Not much more than the last turn, even though they had probably twice as many attacks this turn. We lost a lot of guns and 90 AFEs. Steve was saying AFEs is just tanks, but if that's the case, I don't know how we track losses for SPs and ACs. Yeah, okay, you're right. 90 tanks. What did we lose for tanks? The bulk of what? Again, Panzer 3, Panzer 2Cs. Yeah, we're taking some losses in our Panzer 3, which are right now are our main battle tanks. Believe it or not, we had, there are a lot of Panzer 3 variants during Kursk in 1943, so Tigers and Panthers, fantastic vehicles, but there weren't that many of them. A lot of Panzer 4s and Panzer 3s that were, the Soviets are definitely capable of knocking them out. 46,000. Over 1 million men now they've lost. 46,000 this turn. They lost a lot of guns and a lot of tanks as well during their attacks. Okay. That is the state of affairs as we officially have moved into the month of August in the war in the East. And take a quick peek how things are looking. Yeah, very aggressive. Force their way through some zone of control between our lines, but we will bite back as well. And they didn't make any attacks along here. So, surrendered. The Dnieper. Alright, we're officially across in force and threatening Smolensk and a breakout. And we have encircled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. 14 divisions have been encircled. Which, kind of chump change for the Soviets. Just imagine losing 14 of our own infantry divisions and the incredible impact that would have on us. Yeah, that's almost the entirety of an army group. Down here, oh, they are really massing along this front in Kiev. Well, we got a couple corps here to maybe help even the odds. But what we're looking at is what we're looking at. How is our fuel real quick? Do I even want to look? 24. Oh, God. Yeah, there's just nothing we can do. But we've got infantry coming up. So they still move back. They're persistent. But I think we have enough combat power to break out here now for the next turn. All right. That was great. Thank you for watching. And it's getting more and more interesting. I hope you're enjoying. And I'll catch you later. This is First Fire Non-Assault Move out.